I don't want to get too excited, but February 2022 looks like it's going to be absolutely wild for gaming this year. So let's get right into the games coming out this month. We start with Dying Light 2: Stay Human. It's the direct sequel to 2015's zombie action parkour game Dying Light, and developer Techland has showcased through numerous trailers that they intend to expand upon every aspect of what made the original game such a major success. That means they'll expand on the free-running aspect of the game with even more ways to traverse the huge city of the city, as well as include new iterations of zombies for more intense action. The map is 4 times the size of the original game, and various human factions and settlements are being introduced, and supposedly have a large enough impact that it will be worth giving this game multiple playthroughs. Additionally, like the original game, Dying Light 2 will include 4-player co-op multiplayer. Everything we've seen so far looks promising, so I'm hoping it's a knockout on par with, if not exceeding, Dying Light 1. Dying Light 2: Stay Human releases February 4th to PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X/S, and Switch. Lost Ark is a Korean Award Winning MMOARPG which was originally released in 2019. It's finally seeing a Western release this February, and many have been waiting years to be able to play this, as development originally started back in 2011. That is now 11 years before seeing a Western release. To get into a little more detail, Lost Ark is an isometric 2.5D action RPG in style. There are a multitude of classes you can choose from, including Berserker, Paladin, Gunlancer, War Dancer, Scrapper, Summoner, and a whole lot more. That means you'll get to choose between aggressive tanks, melee/ranged combo builds, various range-specific builds, sorcery, and so much more within that. Beyond just the combat, the game will also have a focus on story, similar to Final Fantasy XIV. While there was a closed beta back in November 2021, Lost Ark finally fully releases to the West on February 11, 2022, specifically for PC. When thinking about the kings of fighting games, certain franchises always pop up. Street Fighter, Tekken, Guilty Gear, Soul Calibur, BlazBlue, Smash, Fatal Fury, and, of course, King of Fighters. That was a longer list than I meant to have, but I even left out a bunch of iconic fighting game series and some of my personal favorites, like Rival Schools, Marvel vs. Capcom, or Pocket Fighter. Seriously, I want more Pocket Fighter. Anyways, back to King of Fighters. King of Fighters is one of SNK's long-running flagship fighting game franchises. The first game released in 1994, and it even had multiple spin-offs. But after nearly 6 years since the release of King of Fighters 14, King of Fighters 15 is finally on its way. And apparently we're going to see 39 playable characters from the get-go, with this consisting of 13 teams with 3 fighters in each. Meanwhile, the story will directly follow the events of King of Fighters 14. The King of Fighters 15 releases on February 17 to PC, PS4, PS5, and Xbox Series X/S. Total War has become Creative Assembly's flagship series ever since it debuted in 2000 with Shogun Total War. Since then, they've covered various historical eras, and finally, in 2016, brought to life Warhammer with Total War Warhammer. However, this was only the first part of a planned trilogy, and finally, this February, we'll see the conclusion of that trilogy with Total War Warhammer III. Like the former games, Warhammer 3 will be a turn-based tactical strategy game. Movements around the map happen in a turn-based fashion, with negotiations being possible. However, when these fail, battles will take place in real time. What you choose to build will influence these battles, as you can build various barricades and defensive towers, utilize terrain, and attempt to squeeze enemy armies into strategic kill zones. If you're a fan of strategy games, this is definitely worth keeping your eye out for. Total War Warhammer 3 releases February 17 to PC. 2017 was an absolutely stacked year in gaming. There was a ridiculous amount of incredible releases throughout the year, including Zelda Breath of the Wild, Persona 5, Hollow Knight, Mario Odyssey, Cuphead, and Resident Evil 7, just to name a few. And while Breath of the Wild took many of the year's accolades for incredible open-world gaming, the PlayStation had its very own, absolutely incredible, show-stopping game released in 2017 in Horizon Zero Dawn. Horizon created an open world that slowly opened up to its main character, Aloy, as you developed new skills and understanding of how its incredibly beautiful world worked. The well-crafted story taking place in the dystopian world where you'll be forced to hunt down robotic dinosaur-like creatures. Every single aspect of the game was done well, from its stealth to its action, collection, and world building. Its long-awaited sequel, Horizon Forbidden West, is finally on its way and will continue Aloy's story with new mechanics including underwater exploration. Whether you played Horizon Zero Dawn or not, Horizon Forbidden West will definitely be worth checking out, as Horizon has become one of PlayStation's must-play exclusives. Horizon Forbidden West releases to the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 on February 18. When Destiny was first released, it was hyped up to incredible degrees, similar to Cyberpunk, and was met with mixed reactions. Many decided it didn't live up to the hype and quickly dropped the game. However, Destiny 2 did a huge amount to regain fan and consumer trust, and this free-to-play FPS has since attracted an extremely impassioned and loyal fanbase. Destiny 2 was first released in 2017, and has since seen multiple expansions, big and small, that have added to both the story and gameplay content. These have included Curse of Osiris, Warmind, Forsaken, Shadowkeep, and Beyond Light. Fans have eagerly awaited for the latest expansion, The Witch Queen, which was originally planned for 2021, but pushed back due to COVID. Finally, the wait is over, and The Witch Queen will be releasing with a new location, world activities, dungeons, a raid, and story elements. Destiny 2 fans across all gaming systems can expect to see The Witch Queen release on February 22. Codemasters' latest entry into their racing franchise, Grid, is on its way with Grid Legends. This time around, inspired by the Netflix series Formula 1 Drive to Survive, Codemasters will be including a strong focus on a story mode. The game will include various racing modes in over 130 tracks covering multiple cities around the world and more than 100 vehicles, from drift cars to semi-trailer trucks. While the game does include realistic driving handling to an extent, it's not a driving simulator game and has arcadey elements to it, including a focus on drifting, which, if I'm being completely honest, is exactly my kind of racer. I love when it's sort of realistic, but still has that fun arcadey feel. For me, you have to have at least a bit of arcadiness, so I'm excited to see that. Something brand new to this series will be the ability for players to create their own races in the Race Creator. This means you'll be able to customize the routes, obstacles, rules, and restrictions. Want tons of ramps and boosts in a rain-soaked race with all different cars racing each other? You got it. Want something fair and even? You can create that too. The races you create can be played both offline and online with friends and strangers alike. Grid Legends releases to PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X/S on February 25th. Here it is. I've been saving this one for last. Also, I've been going in chronological order, so, you know. After a short delay, From Software's latest IP, Elden Ring, is finally releasing this upcoming month. While it's never a good idea to get too hyped for a game before release, From Software is one of the few companies I have complete trust in to deliver an incredible experience, and they haven't let me down yet. From Demon's Souls to Dark Souls to Bloodborne and Sekiro, every IP has been a well-crafted vision and masterpiece. With Elden Ring, From is taking their tried-and-true weighted third-person medieval combat from Dark Souls, but introducing a vast open world to the mix. What that brings is a whole new means of exploration and brand new possibilities with how to tackle the game. While I don't want to spoil too much for anyone who's trying to steer clear before release, I can say that I was lucky enough to get my hands on the network test in late 2021, and the game is absolutely shaping up to be exactly what you'd imagine an open-world FromSoft game to be. It includes smaller dungeons within the world that aren't too time-intensive, but still includes some interesting mechanics and bosses, while also including full-scale legacy dungeons in line with the types of areas we've seen in previous FromSoft games. The brand new ability to ride and fight horseback brings a whole new element to traversal and combat, and I absolutely cannot wait for the full release. Elden Ring is set to release to PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X/S on February 25th. Okay, this one isn't a game, but it's still worth mentioning. After being delayed for 2 months, Valve's major console and PC competitor, the Steam Deck, is currently set to release sometime this February. The Steam Deck is Valve's attempt at creating a mobile gaming machine, with it having a similar design and build to the Nintendo Switch. The idea being that players would now have an extremely portable and comfortable way to play their Steam library anywhere. Granted, I'd have to imagine laptops would be one of their competitors. While the initial reaction to the Steam Deck was extremely positive, we'll have to wait and see how many people latch onto it and how widely used it actually becomes. So there you have the biggest games coming out this February. Was there anything you thought I should have included, and what do you think of the Steam Deck? More importantly, I can't wait to see all you lowly tarnished in Elden Ring. Let's go!